Zita on his way out of Kaizer Chiefs, and there's someone replacing him. Same thing with Sabelo Atebe, according to this report. And we're also going to talk about this player that Kaizer Chiefs logically will probably end up going for based on the needs that they have. Let's talk about it. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Bilo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club, right? Zita reportedly is on 370,000 per month. That's none of our business, but it's public knowledge at this point. Now, there are reports that are saying that Sokala Duma, obviously, who we do not trust, but we talk about them anyways, because sometimes they report stories and they are true, but sometimes they report stories and they are not true. Anyways, I digress. The point is, they're saying that he has not impressed the technical team during the preseason, and because of that, he's on the chopping block. Same thing with Usabelo Hatebe. But the question is, what are they going to do about it? Well, in fact, they can do a lot. There is a player by the name of Inacio. Let me just say the name properly. His name is Inacio Miguel, and he's from Angola, but he also has citizenship as a Portuguese. So now this player, he plays as a defensive midfielder, but also as a center back. Now someone is going to say, Mpilo, have we not exhausted the spaces that we have for foreigners? What I'm going to tell you at this moment, because I'm not allowed to say the other stuff, is do not worry about the foreign quota. Just listen to that. So Inacio Miguel, he is a player that can solve two of Chiefs' problems. People are complaining already about the center back pairing. So comes in and he could either bench Msimango or Utitlokwe. I think Utitlokwe might get benched by Udotli to begin with. So if Msimango has not impressed the coaches, as someone told me that might be the case, who I will not reveal because of they prefer to remain anonymous, he will come in and play as a center back, and then Titlokwe and Udotli and can play with Inacio. So there are a lot of possibilities that could happen in our center back pairing, because even last year we did see that Udove was actually playing alongside Msimango even after Utitloko was cleared that he could now play. Only came on after Msimango got a red card, which said a lot of things. They preferred to play a left back in the left center back position, despite the fact that there was actually a fit center back. But that's just a story for another day. What I'm saying right now is that this guy comes in, he solves the problem of the center back that people are complaining about. But on top of that, he also solves the problem of a defensive midfielder, because for Petro Luanda, he has played that position. And here's another thing about him. He is worth, his market value is 250,000 euros, which when you convert it, it's around 5-6 million rands. Now that, if you are a Kaizer Chiefs fan, you know that's a sweet spot for Kaizer Chiefs. They sign around that price range. And because of this, I actually do think that they might actually go for him. Again, don't worry about the foreign quota. Now, let's talk about this other player, Usabelo Hatebe, who is obviously does not seem like he's anywhere near starting for the Chiefs or featuring for the Chiefs. Because, I mean, at this point, Tanzania is injured, but when he comes back, he will be ahead of him. But forget about Tanzania, they are injured. Right now in the 10th position, Mdusha Balala seems to be a starter. If Mdusha Balala is taken off, Mshini comes in and plays that position. And I know currently it's easy to say, Mpilo, but we need depth because there are some players who are still injured. But we can see Unabi adjusting his formation and actually playing with Castillo alongside Dumart, and maybe in the 10th position, or not even playing a 4-2-3-1, changing to a 4-3-3 where he can play a 8-2, which he can be either Umdu, no Castillo, as playing them as a 8, and then in that way, if he takes off Umdu, he can bring in another 8, say Umart, and then make Umteto play as a 6. I know it sounds too defensive, but it's different from playing a double pivot of defensively minded players than playing a 8-2. But I don't think he's going to do that. But the point is, even if let's say Umshin was to get injured. If Umshin gets injured, they can play Umfundo Vilakazi as a 10 and play Usaile on the right, play Dupre on the right as a starter, Dupre, and then Usaile as a backup to him. So it does not seem like Uhadebe has a place at Chiefs. And if they're saying that there is a way for him that he might be leaving Chiefs, I believe that because, I mean, even Umbu to came back and play left back, I know it's a different position, but the fact that even players who are like 3 generations, not generations, but 3 years younger than 4 years, 5 years younger than him have come in and are now even more prominent, that does not really spell, hey, you might be given an opportunity here. And he might just have to go. I mean, it's for his own career because he's stagnating right now. He's not doing anything. So I hope that he makes an informed decision. But let's talk about Gaston Sirino. Yes, that's a player I wanted to talk about. Because yes, Umpilo has said here on this very sofa and said, oh no, Gaston Sirino is 33. But Umpilo has also sat down and gotten realistic and looked at the players or the positions that might need reinforcement, because Uranga, sometimes you see that he's figured out. Like this weekend, they figured him out. He was not able to do something different. On the other hand, you have Ntu Shabalala playing as a 10, you have Mfundo playing as a winger, you have Samgelo playing as the second 6. Problem is, that's a lot of young players. You need young players, but that's a lot of them. And you need someone on experience, because I'm thinking of, if you bring on Utuba instead of Furanga, he still is inexperienced, right? So that's also kind of problematic because you already have other young players in the team. You bring on Gaston Sirino from the bench, or even if he starts and Uranga is on the bench, he also gives you the balance between experience and the youthful desire and energy. So as much as the age might be an issue for Gaston Sirino at this point, but I'm telling you now, he can give us 2 good seasons, because the thing that Gaston Sirino has right now is, 1, experience we need. But more than experience, he has quality. In fact, he has quality. That's the first and most important thing. His quality, no doubt. Secondly, he has experience. And here's the thing about Sirino, unlike the other players that we've gotten from Sundowns. If you look at Kama Billiat, he had injuries, and they came to Kaizer Chiefs and they became problematic. If you look at Castro, he had injuries and they got worse at Chiefs. Dolly, when Tumon Pellier comes back to Chiefs, he has injuries and they cost him at Chiefs. All those 3 players were quality players from Mamelodi Sundowns, and they got to Chiefs. They already had injuries. But Sirino has not really struggled with injuries at Sundowns now, has he? So if you take a player who has not struggled with injuries, a player who's still quality player, because even for Sundowns last season, he was still coming in and performing very well in a team of Sundowns that is so star-studded. So I do think that if Kaizer Chiefs are looking for someone that they can afford, not to mention Gaston Sirino is no longer playing as a foreigner in South Africa, is now a South African, even wants to play for Bafana at some point. So that tells me that he still wants to come to Chiefs. And there's a report by Latuma that says he wants to come to Chiefs, but only if they want to sign him. So that's his preference to be in South Africa. I mean, at the end of the day, this man has already played in South African football. He's used to it. So I wouldn't be opposed to this deal anymore. I've changed my mind. But what do you guys think? The only thing before we say that is that maybe his salary might be a bit too much, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Do let me know down in the comment section below. Like, subscribe to the channel, all those nice things, and just please follow me on Khosi Nation Fan TV on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, Khosi, I'll pay you more.